And it was a scene where they were supposed to come together and hug. But she was running at a very brisk pace. So much so that Ron fell on his butt. She like hit him with a cross body block and he went down. So that was pretty funny.
You could tell that there were things that Linda wanted to do on that series too. And after having saved it up for 44 episodes, she let wail.
One of my funniest moments, I think, with Ron was in the early days when he was still having, the makeup was in, some sort of experimental stage, still particularly the teeth, which he found very difficult to talk in, and particularly difficult to have lunch in. And there was an occasion when he had to kiss me goodbye as he went off into the night, and he kissed me on the forehead and walked away, and there was a titter from the crew, and I realized his teeth were embedded in my voice.
It was the first year, and we were shooting, I don't know what number show, it was like number 3 or 4 show. And we had become pretty much a family by then. Ron and Roy both hated me by that point. And what happened was there was a buzz going around our studio, and I said, geez, what the hell's going on? So I walk up to the first AD, and I said, what's going on? And he says, well, in the next stage over, Frank, Dean, and Sammy are rehearsing to take their show on the road. I said, gotta meet these guys, gotta meet them. So it was a closed set. I know Dotrice knew Sammy Davis Jr. So I go to Roy's room. Come on, man, let's go. Sammy's over there. Thanks for the date. Let's go. I want to meet these guys. So he took me over there and met all 3 of them, and that was really kind of like my highlight of being on Beauty and the Beast. Didn't happen on our set, but
Sammy, I suppose, was one of the most ardent fans that we ever had of Beauty and the Beast. He used to tape every episode, and he watched every episode at least 4 or 5 times. And he became very friendly with Ron, didn't he, Ron? He was a delightful man, and such a sad loss to all of us when he went.
Indeed. Hurry up.
I just wanted to tell you, after seeing you last year in A Few Good Men, your hair looks great.
Is it on straight?
I'm too excited. I can't wait. On behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank all of you gentlemen for being here. You have this is so special. It really is.
Well, it wouldn't be the same if this room was empty, so...
Never.
We thank you.
The question I've always wanted to ask was the first time you ever were put into makeup and prosthesis, however you say that.
Proselytized.
Thank you.
That was a good one. I hope we all got that on the cassettes.
I want to know, when you looked in the mirror that first time, what you felt as yourself when you saw that character, that beautiful, beautiful Vincent.
I tell you exactly what he thought. We couldn't get him to take the makeup off for a month.
Looking in the mirror, saying to himself, oh yeah, I think Opal's gonna like this.
I really couldn't take the makeup off for a month because the glue that they used was super glue. Rick Baker is very much an overachiever, which is why he has those Academy Awards, and he just slapped that stuff on. It was like a wallpaper. Yes.
We always hear about your long work days. Can you explain to us from the time when you got up and got to the studio exactly what your schedule was for one day?
Well, I was very lucky, I should say, because Linda is the one that carried the great weight of the show. She was probably in 3 times more scenes than I was, and so she very often had to work 5 days a week. I had 5-day weeks, but more often than not, they were 4 days, 3 days. But when they got me, they kept me, because it took so long to get me ready. So to be ready to shoot at 8, I had to be in the makeup chair generally at 4, unless the second season we started using gloves. Originally they put 1 hair at a time on my hands, and then since I had it in my pocket most of the time, what are we doing here? So that saved them 2 hours and an extra makeup artist. But on the days that we had to feature my hands, they had to add 2 hours to it. So there was actually one day where I got into the